Welcome to the Pulsating Biology, and we're covering the chapter Immunity and Disease for the O-Levels Biology. We've already covered the half part of the chapter, that is the immunity chapter, and now we're coming on to the diseases. What are the diseases that are caused by the lack of immunity in the body? When you talk about the diseases, specifically when it comes to the lungs and lungs-related diseases, we have 4 to 5 major diseases. Now we're going to talk about them, each of them in a much more detail. But firstly, let's write them down. The few of the diseases that we have and we're going to discuss is the bronchitis. Bronchitis, you might be much familiar with the bronchitis, but we are going to talk about it in a much more detail. Then we have emphysema. Emphysema is also a well-known disease and is very commonly found. Then we have lung cancer. Lung cancer majorly leads to the death. And on number 4, we have heart diseases. Heart diseases are relatable to also called as the cardiovascular diseases. So these are all the diseases that might be caused due to a lack of immunity or any other cause. We're going to talk about these 4 diseases that are included in your syllabus. That are the bronchitis, emphysema, lung cancer, and heart disease. The heart diseases. Let's talk about the bronchitis first, and then we'll discuss each of them in a much more detail. Alright, so the first disease that we are going to discuss among all of the 4 is the bronchitis. When you talk about the bronchitis is basically, you can say, easily termed as the repeated bacterial infections. The bacterial infections that are repeatedly occurring in the lungs basically leads to the bronchitis. So bronchitis can be termed as the repeated bacterial infections in the lungs. Why does it happen and what happens in the bronchitis? What happens in it is that basically a person who is a smoker. So the smoking basically irritates the air passages. The air passages that are including the trachea, then the alveoli, and the like the bronchi and the bronchitis, and we have the alveoli. So this entire air passage is disturbed in the bronchitis, due to which there is a more production of the mucus. Mucus is the basically thick fluid like a substance that is responsible to trap all the particles. So there's a more productions of a mucus. However, it is beneficial for the body. Similarly, it increase in the production also is very harmful for the body. So whenever we talk about the more production of the mucus, basically what happens is that mucus collects in the bronchioles. So in all of these bronchioles, when there is excessive amount of the mucus, it basically traps in all of these bronchioles, due to which the mucus is being treated as the food for the bacteria, due to which the bacteria becomes reoccurring and causes the bronchitis. That is the bacterial infection, reoccurring of the bacterial infection. Other than that, you can say there's a presence of a lot of cilia. Those cilia basically paralyzes. That's why they does not function very properly, and hence there's a more production of the mucus due to also this function. So the entire story revolves around the increased production of the mucus and the trapping of the mucus in the bronchi and the bronchitis that basically constricts the air passages and does not allow the air basically pass through the lungs very efficiently or very properly. Thus it causes the bronchitis. So this is the entire phenomena of bronchitis, and what happens in the bronchitis in a person who is a smoker majorly goes through this disease.